Here's a question for you. Do you know why you don't qualify to vote yet? There's 3 voting requirements for each state.
Because
Do you know why you don't qualify to vote yet?
It's because our mind.
I don't meet the age requirement.
That's one of them. What if you're not a citizen or a resident?
Oh, that one too.
So then the question shouldn't be, do you know why you don't qualify to vote yet? Should it be different?
I was talking for you guys to be like the age, not. Yeah, you were saying. Sorry.
Are there any 18-year-olds in here already?
Ale,
No,
raise
it's
your
2
hand.
months.
Give me another week.
Oh, wait, what's the date tonight?
Just give me 2 weeks.
Okay. Universal requirements. State
I'm sorry, and I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand. Have you guys gone to the post office or even over to the library here and filled out a card and dropped it in the mail, filled it out? It's really easy to register to vote and do that. And you'll be able to participate on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November of this year. So something to think about if you haven't already done so.
So the first Tuesday.
It's real easy to vote.
America.
State requires 3 factors to have the right to vote: citizenship, residence, and age.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Citizenship. Foreign-born who aren't legal citizens cannot vote in the United States. But there is a twist. In the Constitution, there says nothing about aliens not being able to vote. 2 states draw any distinction between native-born and natural citizens with regard to suffrage. Minnesota Constitution. You have to be living in their state for at least 3 months to vote. Pennsylvania Constitution. You must be a citizen a month ahead before elections. Residence. Today you must be a legal resident in the United States to have the right to vote. Other states require you to live in their state for a certain time period. States adopted residence requirements for 2 reasons. Keep out political machines from improving enough outsiders to affect the outcome of local elections.
How would that do that? How would it prevent you from doing that?
Wait, what?
Well, she was saying the reason that some of the states have adopted residency requirements is in an effort to prevent political machines from running into their state and monkeying with the system.
Okay, that's easy. Wait, you're asking why they would do that?
Yeah.
That's only because, let's say, if you have to be in the area that you want to vote for the districts, and if like I were to be like hit up my homies from like Chicago or some other state, be like, oh, start voting for this guy, in our state, and in a way it would be like getting a lot of voters that don't belong to that state to be voting for a guy. So it would be adding more. It would be in a way adding more votes to a certain person. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
So
you
we
can't vote
have,
from citizen voting?
yeah.
Is that what happened in Bleeding, Kansas?
Oh yeah, they had a lot of that. People running over from Missouri. That'd be kind of like one example is like people from Golden Valley, students from Golden Valley or Merced High coming into LeGrand High School for royalty and filling out the ballots. How would you guys feel about that?
it wouldn't be cool.
Bianca did that.
It doesn't affect them, it affects us.
Bianca did that.
No, but she was here like a month before, so she could.
She went to the school once before.
Daniela still smoke.
Give time to the new voters to become familiar and used to the election process. Age. No state can minimize the age more than 18, but states can lower the age if they want to. Before the 26th Amendment, voting age was 21 until 1970. 4 states lowered the age limit. Georgia was the first state for ages of 18 to vote in 1943 in the midst of World War II. Alaska and Hawaii lowered the age to 18 to avoid conflict with high school students voting in local school district elections.
Let me ask you this question: If you guys right now who are 18 and those who have recently graduated from LeGrand High School that are still in the area decided that you wanted to elect someone locally here to a school board, how much influence do you think you would have in terms of selecting someone? Let's say, like Joey, for instance. Let's say you guys think Joey would make a great, there are 5 school board members, and you in this class, and maybe a couple other classes that have graduated recently, Joey starts running for school board. He gets a Facebook page, he gets a Twitter handle, and starts running for school board. Would he have a very good possibility of being elected to the school board?
Depends on how I get the information out there in my campaign, whether I give people the right attention and the right ideas that they want to hear. So in a way, yeah, would it be only...
Maybe in a while after everyone's able to vote.
Yeah.
Because the group,
Because the group that I'm based on is still 17 and younger,
Yeah.
and I still know a lot of people
Wait.
like that. But then
no,
again,
but
I
will
can't...
we be able to have a say in because of our age?
Yeah, I mean, if you're 18 and you've dropped your thing and you're registered to vote, I don't think any of the school boards are up for re-election this year, but the following year, I believe a couple of them are up. And I only think to get elected, there was like, if I remember the last run here, I think it was only like a couple hundred votes were necessary to win the school board.
That'd be cool.
So Joey would be able
Changing
to
the
run
rules.
for school board?
Not changing the rules.
Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Didn't we talk this about last time, that why don't younger people?
Why not? At a local level. What if
DA.
Daniela, she was still going to UC Merced, could she run for the school board?
I would do it.
What if Ramon, going to Merced College, was 18 years old and he got the word out to this class, to the class of 2014, class of 2013, class of 2012, Instagram, Snapchatted, Facebook, MySpace, and started knocking door to door? Could he get elected to the school board?
Yeah,
Put it on spreading the word.
he could.
Hashtag follow the people.
And wait, and to vote for that.
What if you had all in the school board, all 5 under the age of 21, running the school district?
That'd be so weird.
That's kind of cool.
No, we would need an older cat in there to help us out. We would at
That's
least
why you
need-
hire a superintendent. You would get to choose who the superintendent was.
Javier
Do
Martinez.
it. Who's down?
But you can do that in any area, right? Like,
Any area, any area.
So like if I left.
You're giving me ideas here, man. Stop.
Joey wants to run.
I think I'm gonna change this machine.
Oh,
Hey,
Lowering the age to 18 spread throughout the states in 1940 during World War II. This amendment, 26, was ratified much quicker than any other amendment. Nebraska came close to lowering the age of voting to 17. People who will be 18 by Tuesday following the first Monday in November can vote during the calendar year. Registration. 49 states except North Dakota require most or all voters to be registered to vote. Registration for voters became common of state election law in the early 1990s. Today, most states require you to register for you to vote in the state. Only if you live in urban areas in Wisconsin, you must register to vote. What is needed to register? Your name, the age, place of birth, present address, length of residence, and similar facts. This information is logged by the local officials, mostly registrar of election, or county clerk.
That's another place you can register to vote. Not only the DMV, not only the post office, not only the library, but you can also go to 2222 M Street in Merced, and if you take the elevator to the bottom floor, that is the elections office, and you can register to vote there as well.
why the fuck I'm gonna get
It's right across from the Superior Court.
I've been again.
If vote says registered until death, they move, convicted serious crime, or committed to a mental institution. State law directs local elections to go over the restricted list to see who they take out. This is called purging, and it's done every 2 or 4 years, but this is mostly ignored. One of the reasons is why the poll books became impacted with reasons or more that weren't registered anymore. In European democracy, it's by law that you must register to vote. U.S. is the only democracy county that chooses who could register to vote. People who have studied the problem favor keeping the registration requirement as necessary defense against fraud. They also usually agree that voting should be made easy enough for registered voters, but difficult enough to prevent fraud. Making registration easier. Congress passed many laws in 1993 on every state except North Dakota. It was dubbed by the Voter Motor Law. All of the eligible citizens register to vote when they apply for or renew a driver's license, provide for a voter registration form by mail, make registration forms available at local offices of state employment such as welfare.
And the voter motor law, is that?
That's so when you go to register to sign up to get your license, you can also register to vote at the same time.
No, yeah, I was gonna say each state has its own different license. Oh, so that's why.
The law also requires every state to mail a questionnaire to each of its registered voters every 4 years so that the poll box can be purged of debt and change of residence. It also prohibits the state from purging for any other reasons, including failure to vote. Maine and Wisconsin allow voters to register any day, even election day. Elsewhere, voters must be registered at least 20 or 30 days beforehand.
What do you mean on it also prohibits the state from purging for any other reason including failure to vote? You're saying that like if I fail to vote, like the states can't automatically purge me because I failed to vote?
Yeah, like you're still registered. Even
For
though
every
you failed
4
to
years,
vote.
right?
Well, it just depends on the state. Because maybe for whatever reason you get injured, you get depressed, you don't go out to the polls, they can't just say, you haven't showed up for a while, so you're out, you know.
So,
Other legislative requirements be in many places and used to qualify voters to have the capacity to cast an informed ballot. It was used fairly to prevent or discourage certain groups from voting. This was used to keep African Americans away from voting in parts of the South. Also, the Native Americans and Latinos from voting in the West and Southwest. Some legislative requirements called petitional voters to prove they could read. Other states need to prove to see if you know how to read and write. Some must require proof that you know how to read, write, and understand some printed material passages taken from the state and federal constitution. Whites had it easy. They would give them short, simple worded passages. Others, like the African American race, had high, complex passages that were long worded. Connecticut adopted the first literacy qualification in 1855, and Massachusetts was in 1957. Both tried eliminating voting by Irish Catholic immigrants.
And again, if you ever get a chance to go and Google some of these literacy tests, they couldn't even be completed by Harvard-educated folks. They were ridiculously over the top.
There's this movie that came out about something like that. And they would ask, try to name all the people in the Senate and like what are their names. I'm like, this is crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Yes.
Mississippi adopted literacy requirements in 1890, and other states followed along. The unfairness finally led to Congress to get rid of literacy as a voting qualification in the Rights Act Amendment of 1970. The Supreme Court agreed in Oregon v. Michelle in 1970. Congress banned the literacy test, and 18 states had some form of literacy requirements.
Right.
Okay, I think the bell's about to ring.
Yeah.
So we'll pick up on tax payment. I need to get your homework.
Stop tripping.